Okay, let's study something about this computer architecture. Okay, let's use von Neumann's model for instance. Von Neumann's model identifies 5 major components. So the von Neumann's model identify 5 major components. Now, what are those components? Number one, you have the memory unit. Number two, you have the processing unit. Number three, you have the input. Number four, you have the output. Number five, you have the control unit. Sometimes these two, they are known as the CPU. Okay, so now when we talk about number five, which I mentioned the previous time, because you know I combined these two together, which is the bus. Okay, so when you look at the bus, for instance, you take a look at the bus, for instance, or system bus, for instance. When you take a look at the system bus, for instance, there are 3 system buses majorly. So you have the address bus, number one. Number two, you have the data bus, and number three, you have control bus. Okay, so these 3 buses are essential. Essentially, they are essential to system buses. Okay, so now what's the difference between the first one? The address bus, it carries signal relating to addresses between processor and memory. So I mean, there has to be something that you want to process, right? And in the memory, where is it? Okay, so it is the unidirectional what? Unidirectional bus. Signals travel in one direction. That's the meaning of that. Okay, then you have the data bus, which is the second one, and this one sends signal between the processor and the memory unit. Okay, and the input and output devices. So you, as opposed to the address bus, we just basically say signal relating to the addresses between the processing and the memory. You have the data. The data, it rather sends data, not memory. So that's why I call it data bus. Now you have the third one, which is control. I can guess right. Yes, it carries signal relating to control and coordination of all activities. Okay, which one comes next? Which one comes next? Okay, there's a queue here, which is next. Okay, of all activities, it helps to queue the order or coordinate the execution of all these activities. You recall that earlier on we talked about control unit, which makes time. Okay, it makes sure that all the other parts perform their task as at when due at the correct time. So how they achieve that is using the control bus. So the control bus carries the signals relating to the control and coordination of all activities within the computer. Okay, example of this is the read and write operation. Okay, it is regardless of whatever the data or the address might have carried. I mean, the control basically is looking at, oh, this one is next, this one is next, that one is next, that one is next, and it is being regarded as a unidirectional and bidirectional. You know, I said the address bus is unidirectional. Okay, so in this case, the control bus is both unidirectional and multidirectional. There is a diagram which I can see from a particular source here that is trying to draw a simple model, and it identifies those buses. So you have in this MAR, you have the MU, and you have the MDR. Space won't permit me to write. The MAR is the memory address register, it stores address. The MDR is the memory data register, it stores data. It's as simple as that. Then there's a movement to the what? To the output. And then there is a movement from the input. It does make sense, right? And there's a flow of movement from what we call the PC, CU, and CIR. You can relate it to what you have on your textbook. So we have the MER, which is the memory address register. We have the memory data register. We have the MU, okay, which is the memory unit. Don't forget that. Then we have the PC, which is a program counter. It's not a personal system, a program counter. Now, what does this program counter, what does it do? It stores the next instruction. What's the next instruction that's supposed to be performed? Okay, then you have the CIR. This is the current information. Okay, current information register. And it does what? It fetches instructions. That is the job. It fetches instruction. Then somewhere in between here, you have the ALU. Okay, and this ALU works out what needs to be done. Okay, it's like a kind of a logical or arithmetic resolver. Okay, so there is an a forth and back unidirectional. Don't forget, this is bidirectional, this is bidirectional, this is unidirectional. Is that okay? So just picture this. This is a very simple model, model structure of what von Neumann proposed. Okay, so as opposed to whatever complex you might have in your notes, this helps to typify and makes understanding the concept quite easier than you might think. Okay, so other things you might need to know is that data address is stored in the control unit. The data address is stored in the control unit. Then the address is then sent to the MAR using the control bus. MAR, okay, using the control bus. Then the memory unit will then send the data to the processor using the data bus to decode the data, and will send back to the unit using the same bus. Okay, so that's what you can see around here. Then after that, the decoded data is then sent to the output using the data bus. So that's what you have here. Okay, so I think this simplifies it. Is that okay? So you have to understand that the read operation steps follow this particular sequence. Let me do this. If any part of this is not clear, you can just rewind and watch over again. Okay, I'm combining series of diagrams to form this uniform diagram that I have here. I've used series of diagrams to form this one that I have here. Okay, so there's read and write operation. In the read operation, first of all, read operation. Number one, the processor sends address of the required data along the address bus. Number two, then the processor sends the read signal along the control bus. Number three, the data is sent from the memory to the processor along the data bus. Number four, the processor then decodes and executes the data. The write operation then can be started. For the write operation, number one, the first step is that the processor places data on the data bus and the address of the destination of the address bus. Then the processor sends the write signal along the control bus, and the data is sent along the control bus. Okay, and there are three things that are very important here. You have the cache memory. You have the cache memory or cache memory, however you decide to pronounce. I don't know. You can check your dictionary. It's used for high speed storage. Okay, like temp high speed storage. Then you have the register, which is the register of the process of the CPU. Then you have the accumulator. The register that is used for calculations. And typically, when you have a one register CPU, you call that one register. You call that register. That's memory that has one register. You call it accumulator. Okay. So that's that about that. So I believe that this simplifies the model, and then you can expatiate, look at your textbook, and look at exactly what in details is being discussed, the extent to which it was discussed, and then you can of course expand from there. I hope you understand. I also attach another video to this video so that you'll be able to it will help you to be able to understand even better and even deeper. Is that okay? So thank you very much.